Alright, hello. This is Alex Ngo from the JVCT host committee, which is basically just me. This is the host of the last JVCT and JVCT now, or JVCT2. Let's get right into it. I made this rulebook, August edition. So, yeah. If you're watching this, you're probably a member of the JVCT tournament and you want to see how it works or you want to join. This is completely up to you. So, basic information. You have our Discord. You have our basic schedule, which basically just tells you what days are allotted for which tournaments. We have the YouTube playlist, which will be linked up soon, but there's no videos on it, so it can't be linked, I guess. You have my Discord, which is the host. There'll also be the co-host Discord. I forgot to add that right now, but you can find the co-host on the server. My Discord tag is just Alex #1248. And if you have any questions, please just ask me about it. I will gladly guide you through this, because I know this is pretty lengthy. Anyways, power indexing. So this is probably the most complex part of the tournament. It really isn't that bad. It serves almost a redundant purpose since a lot of the teams are fine after using the power index. But here's how it works. So there are about 30 players in JVCT tournament. Not all of them are the same rank, and they range from Ascendant to Bronze. Now, since Ascendant and Diamond players, you can imagine, have pretty high rank connections, they can have a much more powerful and grander team. Let's say if you were going against a gold captain, right? Your gold captain will probably know a bunch of plats and maybe silvers, but never really diamonds and ascendants. So this is what the power index is for. Now, power index is not the only thing, but it is the system of rules and values. So first, there's a low tier cap, and then there's a high tier cap, or you can replace tier with rank. Now, for our tournaments, or JVCT2, the low tier rank or cap is silver 1 to silver 3. Now, you can be at silver, or you can be above it, but not below it. Same thing for Ascendant. You can be Ascendant 1 or 3, but you cannot be above it. Not even Immortal. So, that's about it. That's our cap. It's pretty simple. I would have installed this only last time, but since we have a bunch of bigger teams this time, we're gonna need to have some bigger measurements. So anyways, for JVCT number 2, there is a number of maximum U ranks. U ranks are short for unique ranks. I might call them URs one day, but not many people know what a UR is for a tournament like this. So it's not gonna be called that. U ranks. Anyways, U ranks are unique ranks per party. If you're building a party, you cannot have more than 1 ascendant. You cannot have more than 3 diamonds. You cannot have more than 4 platinums. But if you're dealing with golds and silvers, you can have a full party of them. Now this is just you can be within the limit, or you can have none at all. It's completely up to you. Now this does not apply to subs who are not active players, but we'll get into that more. Sub players are within the low high rank caps. They should be able to join during the tourney time and tourney date or day. But here's the system of tricky parts here. Substitutes cannot sub for players at 2 ranks below them, meaning if you have a diamond sub, that sub cannot go in for a gold player, because that adds a lot more power to your team. And not only to mention, that probably will break your index value, which is 400, but I'll explain that more. However, you can, of course, have a diamond sub if they're subbing in for another diamond player, or they're subbing in for a player that is within 1 rank. So a diamond player can sub in for an ascendant, and a diamond player can sub in for a platinum. This still has to stay within the index, but it's allowed. But if you have, let's say, if you have a diamond player that needs to get subbed out, a gold player can sub him in, or him or her, whoever it is. Even a silver can sub out an ascendant. Of course, ascendant cannot sub in for a silver. If you get what I mean, basically, any powerful players you have on your team, they can get subbed out by anybody, as long as they're not subbed out by someone who is 2 ranks higher than them. And subs cannot sub in for people who are 2 ranks below them. That's it. You can ask me more questions about that too. Anyways, now that you know that we have U ranks and we have a basic low and high tier rank cap, the index values are just here to tell you that they're basically just here to tell you that whether or not your team is legible. Because some people, they can have an ascendant in their team, but that means the rest of the team has to be a little bit weaker relative to the other teams. So anyways, this whole table over here, this is everything you need to know. This whole table over here, this is everything you need to know. We're basing it all from Ascendant to Silver. These values are based off how rare rank is in Valorant as of July. And they're scaled up, so Ascendant is the max, because Ascendant is the highest tier that we have in this tournament. Of course, if we want to do Radiant to Iron, it would look a lot more professional, but this is what we have. So Ascendant is 100, meaning it's the most rarest and most powerful rank in this tournament. Then you have Silver, which is a little less than half of it, half of Ascendant. Even though Ascendant might be just as rare as an Iron player, of course Ascendants have a much higher value because they're so much stronger. And you can also see how many you can have per party. So when you're building your party or your team, this is the best possible team you can get. The index value or limit is 400. Your team, when you add up the total score or value, cannot be above 400. It can be at 400, but I doubt you can do that with the numbers I have here today. But never above 400. If you go above 400, that means 1, you've probably gone above the U rank cap, meaning you probably have 4 diamonds or 2 ascendants. It's probably too much. And also, if you're a bit too underhanded, the conditional formatting will tell you whether or not you're close to the 400 score or you're not. The closer you are to the 400 score, probably the better your team is, just rank-wise. Doesn't mean that you're not better off just switching for a certain player, but you know, it shows you that in terms of rank, you're probably gonna fare well. Anyways, when calculating this, it's pretty simple. Just add up the values equated to each rank in your team, and that's it. When you add your sub in, just replace the sub's value or rank value with the value of the person they're subbing for. So let's say if this 85 over here, that's a diamond, if they're getting subbed out by a gold, I would replace it with 60. And the total will probably go lower, and the average probably go lower. That's about it. By the way, the average is out of 80. So that's about it. So in summary, we have U ranks, we have index values, and we have the low and high tier ranks, rank caps. That's it. Then we have map selection. There's 7 maps in JVCT2 because no one likes Pearl, I guess. And before every match, I'll ask every team captain which side of the coin they like in map selection. And whatever coin, or whoever wins that coin flip, they will receive the first map ban. The losing side will pick the second map ban, and that will continue until there are 2 maps left. And then each host will, or not each host, sorry, I, the host, will assign each coin side to each of the 2 maps. So if we have like Ascendant and Haven left, I would randomly choose that Ascendant is heads and Haven is tails. It doesn't matter. But I would then coin flip and we'll see which one it is, Ascendant or Haven. This doesn't really apply to a best of 3, because with best of 3 there will be 3 maps left. The winner of the beginning coin flip will choose the first of 3 maps, the loser will choose the second, and the third is a tiebreaker, which means not really much more coin flipping. Anyways, excuse me, my voice is very coarse today. I did another video like this, but I deleted it because it was too long. Anyways, player requirements. If you want to have the player pool role, which means you can get recruited by a team, which is a little less unlikely because a lot of the teams are made up by their own friends, but you can of course make your own team. So in order to do that, you must have a Discord account. You must have a Valorant. You must have Valorant installed. Of course, that needs a Valorant account. You must be qualified in the low high rank caps, Ascendant to Silver. and you should be readily available for the next tournament, which is, I'll show you the dates soon. Now I'll show you the team composition roles. So coaches are designated by their team captain, so you need to ask permission to be a coach by the captain. They can be any rank as long as they're not above Ascendant. They're allowed to talk only during timeouts via /TO or /timeout, which prompts a vote on your team in game. You can have 2 timeouts per game. They allow for tactical support in and out of the game, and they're allowed to join the coach's position in the official custom match, which means if you join my or the hosts, whoever's hosting that day, if you join that custom match and you join the coach's position, that's totally fine. As long as you're not giving away information, that's totally fine. And also, they're not really paid. That's because I'm only paying players who actually play. Sorry if that offends the coaches out there. No disrespect by any means. It's just what the prize pool is allowing. Captains, there should be only 1. Captains also are considered active players, so don't get confused by that. You don't have 6 players in your team that we're playing. You just have 5, and one of them is considered a captain. So captains are just normal players who ask to establish a team. I allow it. They asked for their map bands, which I guide them through. They'll be able to make their own logo or role color that they like for the team. I can, of course, change that for them. They're expected to attend the entirety of the tournament, so they should be part of every match. They're expected to play in their matches, which is basically the same thing. Then they're expected to build a team that fits the index limit of 400 and low-high rank caps. So I don't want to be the bringer of bad news, but if your team does not fit the index, I will have to ask that you change it. It may be my fault, but also it is also up to the captain to make sure that doesn't happen. They're also paid, by the way. If they're an active player, they have to be paid. So active players, they're part of the designated team. They're expected to play at least 1 match. You're not getting paid if you don't play a match or play a match. They're expected to share their Valorant tag with the host for custom match invites so they can actually connect. They're also paid. Substitute players, you can only have 1. They're allowed to join within 1 rank of their own. They're allowed to join their team chats during games. They're also not paid. So dates and prizes, JVCT2 will take place from 4:15 to 6:45 p.m. The 2 official dates so far are August 16th and August 17th. I'll just highlight that. 19th and 21st are the extra days that we'll have to reserve if the game goes on and on longer than it's supposed to be. Anyways, the prize pool is sorry, I'm slurring. The prize pool is $50 worth of Valorant points. This is spread across the 5 active players, meaning there are $10 per player, which means $10 of Valorant points per player. Simple enough, it's not too high. Please play for fun. Don't break your relationships over this. Don't break your back over this. It's nothing too serious. It's just for fun. Now, terms and rules. Please be respectful of others in the JVCT server. Trash talk is allowed, but please don't make it hurtful. Do not share match information if you're not actively playing on either team, which means you're not supposed to comm if you're not on either team. You're not supposed to share map information or hints through the chats. Please don't DM them when I can't see that, nor DM them with important stuff that pertains to the actual game. Okay, because that's kind of considered cheating. In the event that a team does not have a sub and one of the players has yet to arrive, I will give them 10 minutes to wait before moving on to the next match. If there is no next match, then a sub should be forced into the team. And that's it. Any smurfing, cheating, or abuse of in-game settings will result in a DQ or disqualification. This is for tampering with the match's score. Now, if you accidentally press ghost mode and you come back in, I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as you don't start using ghost mode and changing up your positions, then that might tamper with the round and therefore tamper with the score. Now anyways, please view any and all documents before making a team or entering the tourney. I'm perfectly fine if you don't, because I know some of these are definitely too wordy. So I will help you guide. I will help you guide yourself into this, and hope you have a fun time. But please do read this, just in case you want to get any hindsight. Now, anyways, final part. You don't have to. You can fall asleep right after this. Tournament flow. Now, on the day of the tourney, let's say day 1, 20 to 10 minutes before any tourney, I will probably be in the lobby VC, getting everybody ready. Once I'm ready to initiate, I'll put an @everyone ping announcing that their first match will be between, for example, Team A or Team B. Once all captains are in the lobby, I, the host, and my co-host will move into the host stage and initiate a map selection process. This will be between the 2 captains. Once we get the map selection off, I'll instruct both parties to join the custom lobby that I set up, and whoever, it really depends on the captains. It doesn't matter at some point because you always switch halves, but whoever, it's really first picks, you know. If your captain goes onto attacker side first, then your team is going on attacker side first. It's just, that's it. You'll switch sides anyways, it doesn't matter too much. Anyways, once everybody's in the custom game, I'll set the settings. I'll have the selected map on. I'll have cheats activated, so that way I can roll back around if anything happens, or I can pause the time. And I can also enter the party chat so that I know if there's a problem between a teammate or 2. Please do not use party chat if you can. Just probably try not to, because that party chat also talks to the other side of the team, or the enemies. So you might want to not do that. But for any internet issues or anything you can't really control, please use party chat to talk to me. I will listen to you and pause the time. Once all the settings and captains are ready, both teams are instructed to enter their facility VCs in the Discord, and the match will start. And once it's done, it is recorded onto a YouTube playlist, and scores are entered into the challenge bracket. I will share the bracket soon. But otherwise, that's about it. I won't make this any longer. If you have any more questions, please type in just Alex, capital J, capital A, no space, #1248. Thank you for listening, and if you're joining my tournament, please have fun. I've loved seeing some teams, really activate themselves and enable themselves to play and have some chemistry. I love to see it. Thank you for watching, and I'll put the links in the description below.